What's up, guys? It's your girl Nosh, and we've got a message. Oh, we got an interesting message. A lot of you don't understand that, that person that caused you the most heartbreak, the one that keeps causing you frustration and suffering, and yet you still want to be with them. This is targeted towards relationships. Those red flag relationships that y'all be in. The ones that you say, no, but I can't leave him. I love him so much. Or the ones where you guys break up with them and you're like, I can't live without them. And when you were with them, it all you did was cry. So this is specific, not like the Pacific Ocean, but this is specific. This is specific. I hate that word. Yeah, let's talk about that. You guys have a minute to talk about that. This message was inspired by, I always have to shout out where the inspiration comes from. Usually it's inspired by spirit, but this one is interesting. I was on TikTok and I saw a trend for how did you two meet, and I joined the trend too, so I put one up. So if you want to go check it out on my TikTok, go ahead. It's called I'm Your Dad. IMYERHDAD. Check it out on TikTok. The trend is basically saying, how did you two meet? And underneath it, real quickly, people are writing, well, this person, unalived me in 1777, and now I'm back to get my revenge. So it really got me thinking, like, wait a minute. My head started started scratching my noggin, like, wait a minute. This goes back to what I talk about in your birth charts. You see how important it is to know your birth chart? If you need a birth chart reading, let me know. I can do one for you. I do private counseling. Counseling. Where the hell am I from? I do private counseling sessions for birth chart readings to help you understand more about you and your blueprint. Yes, please let me know. And I also do private tarot readings. So hit your girl up. So when you look at your birth chart, especially when you're dating someone, it's really important to do a synastry chart. Because the synastry chart will teach you, or it will show you where the karma is between you and another person. Sometimes the karma is simply that you met this person this lifetime to complete a cycle. The reason why you meet people again in a lifetime is because there is some unfinished business left over from a previous lifetime. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you my example because I feel like, you guys resonate when I give you an example, especially if it's personal, and you guys just love how I, story tell. So Mercury and Sag, what can I say? So I was dating this guy. And it was really nice in the beginning. That's how it starts. It was awesome in the beginning. The first month was really nice. Second month, I started noticing little things, and I was like, I don't know, right? And what ended up happening is, I did do our birth chart before we started dating, and then you're gonna be like, well, then why did you go into it? Because I needed to heal it. I needed to heal it and get it off the bucket list from the previous lifetime or whatever past lifetime that we shared. This is the reason why I go into contracts. I'm a Saturn in Libra, so I have to balance things out. That's my purpose. I am the bridge between balances, where when I come into your life, there is something I'm going to help you balance out, okay? Remember that. Everybody that comes into your life with a purpose. They're designed to do something for you in your life. Just like when you go into someone's life, you're designed to do something, okay? People don't just get put together for no reason, okay? It's always orchestrated. The universe knows what it's doing, okay? Think about it this way. The universe is the writer, the director. And sometimes if you have enough balls and if you're brave enough, you can tell the universe, can I co-create with you? And the universe will be like, yeah, absolutely. Come on. I've been waiting for you to co-create with me. I've been writing this out by myself. You left me to write this out by myself. You need to help me. Most of you don't understand that. Most of you, I don't know if you don't understand that or if you just play naive to it. But you're supposed to co-create with the universe because the life that we're living right now, we co-created it with the universe before we decided to come here. Okay, nothing is written out for us without our permission. Okay, we sit down with universe and we say, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna have Molly Joe come in, and Molly Joe is going to play this role and execute this right here and help me learn this lesson. So going back to what I was saying, I started dating this guy. In the chart, it basically had said that I owed him something. He had done something for me in a past life, and I had owed him something. So I am the one who is the giver here. Oh my God, why did it go this way? Sometimes I have to be careful how I talk. Anyways, I was the one who was supposed to give him something in the relationship, like, pay a debt off. And I learned what that debt was when it happened. Right when it happened, something pinged inside of me like, okay, this is it. So anyways, first month, awesome, beautiful. Second month, I start to see things. And then I noticed that he had someone in his life that was basically keeping him suppressed, keeping him caged. I'm trying to be nice with the words I'm trying to use. But I guess I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He had a friend that was doing black magic on him. Okay? Whatever magic you want to color code it, that person was doing magic on them, on him. And it wasn't the type of magic where, oh, I want you to be healthy, I want you to get opportunities. It was more like no matter what relationship you get into, it was never going to work out for him. Because this person's motive was to make him believe that no matter who he's with, it doesn't work out because that person is the one for him. You got to be careful of friends like that, especially if you are a male and you have a female friend, or if you are a woman and you have a male friend. So this friend was constantly throwing magic at him. No matter what relationship he was in, it did not work out. And this was going on since they were both in their early 20s, because he met this person in high school. And ever since high school, this person had it out for him. Well, she had a crush on him. And she was basically just his number one fan. If this boy was a K-pop group, this girl would have been the Sasang, or a stalker. Well, anyways, how did I learn this? Well, I'm a tarot reader. I'm a what do you call it now? What do they call us nowadays? They call us witches, right? So yeah, that's what I am. I don't like to use that word, but yes, I'm a shaman. I'm a healer, but some people who are not educated enough, they throw me in the category of a witch. Okay, fine, whatever. So this person was putting witchcraft on him. And how did I learn? Because I'm a person who picks up on patterns. I'm very good at understanding patterns. I love patterns. I see them, I seek them out, I search for them, I look for them, and then I put the puzzles together. I put the puzzle pieces together. So this person, this guy that I was dating, started acting just weird. All of a sudden, it's like, and it happened. It happened after he told his best friend, the person who was doing magic on him, that, oh, I met this girl, she's really nice, she's really cool. She is everything that I've been looking for. She understands me, she knows me. And the first thing that this best friend said was, oh, can I get her birth chart? Why the fuck you want my birth chart? Why you so nosy? So anyways, whatever. Then she started telling him, she's very detached. She's very unemotional, and this and that, and this is blah. She just started talking shit about me, okay? He came back and told me. And I said, oh, that's what she said. And then I pulled cards on her, and I found out that she has been in love with him for such a long time. And I told him, I was like, yo, she's in love with you. What do you want to do about this? And he goes, what? I'm like, don't act dumb. You know this. Men, you know when someone's in love with you. Just like women, you know when someone is in love with you. Like, they're always there. People don't do shit for no reason. So I told him, I said, she's in love with you. And she's, it's because I pulled more cards and I asked if she's trying to influence his life or his love life. And I got the response of yes. So I told him, and I said, you know what? It's fine. What we'll do is we'll clean you. We'll do a cleansing for you. We'll get rid of all the things that she's ever given to you. But you also have to step up with your own will and refuse her. Because once magic is done on you, and what people do is they put confusion magic on you, so you're constantly confused. You're constantly trying to make a decision. And what they do is they hide behind that. Meaning they'll disguise themselves or cloak themselves to make it look like it's not them. Give you an example. They'll start telling you it's somebody else that's doing it on you. They'll start just picking someone else, like, oh, you know, Sally looked at you weird. I bet you she's doing magic on you. No, when it's the person who's accusing Sally of doing magic on you is the one that's doing it. Or a person who says to you, oh, no, that's not true. That can't happen. If you know in your gut something is happening, right? And you go and you tell someone, like, yo, I think this is happening. And that person goes, no, that's not happening. You don't need to think that way. Yeah, that's called throwing a stone and hiding your hand, okay? I got another story for that one. Another day, another time, guys. So anyways, pulled cards, found out that she is putting magic on him. She's trying to destroy his love life so he can figure out that it's her. It's always been her. It's like that K-drama movie where the K-drama where the girl, the best friend, it just basically, sabotages everything for her, for the guy that she likes, so he can see that it's always her. When in reality, she's forcing it. You know what I mean? So I came to find out that she was throwing magic on him for a very long time. And this boy told me how much bad luck he was having. And every time he would get into a relationship, he would start having, job problems, health problems, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, when you're single, how are you? He goes, oh, I never thought about that, but everything is fine. He goes, maybe I'm just cursed in love. And I started laughing. I was like, you're not cursed in love. You just have a friend that doesn't want you to be in love. She wants you to be in love with him. So long story short, I cleanse him. We get rid of all the things out of his apartment that belong to her or that she gave as gifts. And she starts texting him because she feels it. She feels the cleanse. She ain't dumb. She feels it. She starts asking him, oh, how are you? I haven't heard from you. And he's like, oh, I'm doing fine. I'm just hanging out with my girlfriend and this and that, which is me. And she's like, oh, we should meet up and have dinner together or lunch together. And I told him, I'm not meeting her. I don't want her anywhere near my breathing space. And he was like, okay, valid. Then I noticed she texted him really late one night at like 2:00 in the morning. We're both sleeping. She texted him at 2:00 in the morning wanting to know the circumference of his head. The one on his shoulders, guys. Don't be nasty. I thought the same thing too, though. She wanted to know what size his head was on the shoulders, the thing that's attached to his shoulders, okay? Because she wanted to knit him a beanie. And I took that phone from him. I said, boy, fucking block this bitch right now. And you know what he said? No, I can't. I said, why not? Oh, she's crazy. If I block her, she'll show up at the apartment to know what's going on and why I blocked her. I said, so grow some balls and tell her why you blocked her. You make my girlfriend feel uncomfortable and I don't want to talk to you anymore. He goes, no, I can't say that. I said, oh, really? We're really doing this right now. And I was like, you clearly know that she's been putting magic on you. And you clearly know that she's the one who's been sabotaging your shit. And you still don't want to block her. And he's like, no. So I said, okay. I said, bro, do you know that she does magic? And he goes, well, yeah, I know she does a little bit of witchcraft. I said, how do you know that? And he goes, oh, well, when my dog gets sick, she tells me that she can do a spell for my dog. Okay. I was like, okay, so valid. You know that she deals in witchcraft. He's like, yeah. I said, okay. I said, so you don't want to block her. You don't want to cut cords with her. No. I said, are you afraid of her? Are you afraid that she's going to do something on you? And he's like, yeah, maybe. I said, okay. So you rather stay suppressed and keep dealing with her throwing magic at you and sabotaging everything for you. And he's like, no, it's not that. I said, then what is it? We actually ended up getting to a very heated argument. And what I did was I asked my tarot cards, should I leave him? Should I leave and exit myself out of the situation? Because what happened is I started getting sick. This bitch started throwing sickness magic at me. And what happens is when they throw illness at you, it's supposed to make you bedridden. What she threw at me was supposed to make me bedridden. But what it ended up doing was I ended up throwing up for a day. I'm not the type of individual that throws up, but the reason why I was throwing up was because whatever she was doing to him was rubbing off on my energy. I was absorbing it from him. Obviously, by sleeping with him, kissing him, eating the same food he's eating, sharing his drink, I was absorbing his energy. And my vessel was basically transmuting it. And that's why I was throwing it up. I was literally throwing up whatever magic she was doing on him. So I got sick for 24 hours with, well, let's call it the stomach bug. And that was it. That's when I pulled cards and I said, where is this coming from? Because it's in the middle of June. It's the middle of June, right? Middle of June. This was not this summer, guys. This was like 3-4 summers ago. Middle of June, it's hot outside. It's nice out. There's no reason for me to be throwing up. I didn't eat anything in particular that I normally don't. You know what I mean? So when things like that happen, you have to really go back and look at the pattern. Like, what did I do? What did I say? Where did I sit? Who did I sit with? So me being a Reiki healer, right? A Reiki master level 3, by the way, I absorbed whatever she was doing to him into me, and not knowing that, because usually when you do Reiki, you seal yourself. You seal yourself up, you zip yourself up as you are performing Reiki on another person, so you don't absorb everything that they're going through. You're basically just transmuting it with your energy, but you're not absorbing it, right? So here I am, open vessel, I absorbed it, I ended up throwing up, which I pulled cards and I asked, and the card said it's because of her. And the card said, if you continue being with him, you're going to continue absorbing the karma that he has with her. Soon as I saw the devil card and I saw karma with justice, I was like, okay. So then I pulled cards and I figured out what happened. In a past life, something went down between them, right? He did something to her, and in this lifetime, he's supposed to owe her something. And that's why she keeps chasing him. Her soul knows what she's doing, and her vessel is just doing what her soul is telling her to do. Hers consciously doesn't understand that. Consciously to her is, oh, I'm so in love with him, I have to have him. Her soul is basically saying he fucked us over and we got to get him back. So her sabotaging him, her fucking up his love life is her soul getting that revenge from another previous life or whatever. And who was standing in the mirror blocking this? Me. Not knowing. So I removed myself. I asked my cards, if I remove myself, what's going to happen? The card said, if you remove yourself, you won't be the target in between. The karma will flow. It'll do what it needs to do, and you'll be safe. So guess what I did? Because ain't no man worth my peace and sanity and my body and my mind and you know, and me. Come on. Hello. I love me. We all know that. And this is how you know you love yourself. I cared about him. We were really good, but the fighting and the whole her doing that shit on him, it wasn't cool. I did not want to be in a situation like that. So I chose me. When it came to that, I chose me. I packed up my stuff and I said to him, look, this is not working out. We fight too much. You know, you have her, and I don't care how you look at me, but I don't like her. I don't like her. Until you don't get rid of her, I don't want to be with you. And even when you do get rid of her, I kind of like, this already left a sour taste in my mouth. So broke it off, returned to, you know, my home or whatever, because I just started living with him for a little bit. I returned back to my own place, and everything went back to normal for me. Now, I don't know what's going on with them, but what happened is I intervened within karma that I wasn't supposed to. So by me cleansing him and me healing him, I was also getting targeted. Okay? So, moral of the story is sometimes you just need to leave some people alone. Okay? You can't save everybody. We're not Jesus. Jesus was the only person who could do that. We can only save one at a time. And honestly, it's not even about saving, because I personally cannot stand the savior complex. People who go out there and think they can save everyone. And I'm so like, ugh, I have a pet peeve with that. God complexes and savior complexes, I'm just so turned off by them. Do what you can, as much as you can, no more than you can, no less than you can. Just do what you're supposed to. That's what I say. So anyways, going back to that, how did you two meet? A lot of you are sometimes in these relationships where these people have unalived you in past lives. You have unalived them in past lives, and now that karma is just coming up. Now, how do you know this? Are you at peace? If you are in a relationship that is not giving you peace, then that's a karmic relationship. Like a lot of people will say to me, how do you know you're in a karmic relationship? You're not at peace. Every single thing is a push and pull. Everything is a power struggle. Everything is just, you know what I mean? You're arguing constantly. You argue like cats and dogs. And then after you argue like cats and dogs, then you're like making love like it's like a blaze in the forest, right? No, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a balance. You're not supposed to give too much. You're not supposed to receive too much. It's supposed to be an equal balance. You want to know when you're not in a karmic relationship? When both of you are growing. And I'm talking about growing in abundance, growing in wealth, growing in prosperity. Glowing as well too. You're looking good, he's looking good. She's looking good, he's looking good. There's no breakouts, there's no weight gain. There's no ugliness. You know, like you know sometimes women go into relationships and they're so beautiful, but when they start dating a certain guy, they start looking ugly, they start looking haggard, they start looking old. Yeah, that's that person doing that to you because it's karma. Or you go into a relationship with a guy and he looked really good when you started dating him, and then all of a sudden you look at him and you're like, what just happened? That's karma. Both of you are supposed to grow and glow in a way, because two souls that are meant to be for each other will not block each other's blessings or block each other's anything. So think about it right now. I'm not telling you to go and break up with people. Maybe I am. But anyways, I want you to just evaluate. If you're in a relationship and you're glowing, right? It's a certain way that a woman glows when she's in love, right? Or it's a certain way that a man loves a woman that makes her glow, right? Right? Like, well, what example can I give you guys? I can't think of any couples right now. Nicole Kidman, I think it was. Was she married to... I think she was married to Tom Cruise. When she was with Tom Cruise, she looked weird. Now that she's with Keith Urban, she looks good. That's the difference. Like I'll give you an example, and I'll even put myself on the slab here. I'll take the sword. When my ex-fiance and I were together, he looked so haggard. He was skinny with bags under his eyes, always anxious, and me and him argued all the time. Now that he's married and the woman that he's with, the woman that he married, she looks beautiful and he looks awesome. They both look so good together. Because you know what? He was meant to be with her. He wasn't meant to be with me. Even me. I look at pictures of myself of when I was with him, when I was engaged to him, and I look at pictures of myself now. Oh my God, I look older. Mind you, I was younger. That was like 15 years ago. I looked older. I look younger now compared to the pictures I've seen of myself 15 years ago. When did we break up? 2016, 2015. I looked older. Like older and unhealthy. I looked like a bobblehead. I was so skinny. Him too. It's like we were sucking each other's energy. We were siphoning from each other. We were constantly arguing. We were constantly fighting. We could never agree on anything. I'm surprised he even asked me to marry him. Like now that I look back at it, like what the fuck was wrong with him? I was a walking red flag. I was toxic. Toxica. My name should have been Miss Toxic. You know, I was controlling. I was very vulgar, very neglectful, very karmic, very karmic. Now he's with someone and he looks very handsome, very well put together, and he's very successful. Even her, very successful, very beautiful, very well put together, very healthy, very demure, very nice. That's what that means. That means that he was not meant to be with me. And it's okay. It's fine. A lot of you also have this issue when you see your ex with someone, you automatically have some dumb shit to say. That's because you don't love yourself. Me, I love myself. So I'm able to see where, wait a minute, I look like this and he look like that. Yeah, no, we weren't a good match. With her, he's a better match. Sometimes you just have to be sovereign. You just have to be humble, have to have a little bit of humility and admit that someone was not good with you or you were not good for someone. Like I can admit it straight here on public, on a YouTube channel. I was not good for my ex-fiance. Whoever I dated in the past that it did not work out with, I was not good for them and they were not good for me. But that's something that is called accountability. To be able to see myself in the mirror and be able to pick my flaws up and be like, you know what? You fucked up. But now we're going to do better. That is the difference between evolving and growing. So coming back to the karma part. When I looked into the history of me and my ex-fiance's karma, it was basically I had left him. Long time ago, in like 1800s, 1700s, I had left him. Right? Last time we were together before this lifetime, I left him to go pursue my career, my passion. Right? Honor and duty were more important to me, so I left him. I told him, I can't be with you because I have to do this. And you know what he did? He stayed quiet in that past life. He didn't say anything about it. He just said, you know what? Okay, I understand you need to do what you need to do, and we can just part. So we parted. But he never forgot me, and I never forgot him in that past life. I moved on and I got married. He moved on and he got married. But we never forgot each other. Because we didn't forget each other, fucking A, we met each other this lifetime again. And same thing happened this lifetime. You know what happened this lifetime? He chose honor and duty. He chose his family and he chose his religion over me. I'm Muslim. He's Christian. He is married to a Christian woman right now, raising his family the Christian way. I'm Muslim. He left me behind, obviously, because I wasn't going to convert and he wasn't going to convert. He chose family, honor, and religion over me. Just like in a past lifetime, in a previous life, I chose family, honor, and duty over him. Full circle. Bam. Complete. That's why it hurts so much for us to break up. Well, for me, it hurt so much. Because 2 years after we broke up, he got engaged and he got married. I'm still single. And when did I figure this karma out? I think about 3 years ago. And when I figured this karma out, my heart felt a little bit better. Like it was like, okay, now I understand what happened. Trust me. I hated him after we broke up. I hated him. Like, how could he do this to me? I built my life around him. Why did this happen to us? Then I realized the karma, and then bang, my soul was like, okay, we deserve that. We deserve that because we did this to him in a past life. So I did what I don't always do when I find out it's a karmic contract or a contract in place. I say, I didn't call him up or anything. I'm not that type of individual. Once you're gone, you're gone. I don't fucking call you. And people who know me, they know that. Once it's done, I will not reach out. Even if I want to, I will not reach out. It's done. It's done. So I went into a quiet place, lit a candle, called my ancestors in as witnesses, and I said, ancestors, please hear me when I say this. And I said, such and such, I forgive you for leaving me this lifetime, and I forgive myself for leaving you in a past life. Whatever was done this lifetime, I dissolve it with love. I let it go. I set it free. I no longer have hate for you. I no longer have anger for you. I understand that what had to be done had to be completed because this is the contract that we signed. And believe it or not, I kid you not, the anger lifted out of my body. The anger, the sadness, the hatred, the why me, the why didn't he choose me? Why did he go and get married to someone else? Why did he pick it all left my body. Why? Because my soul was finally at peace because it understood the contract that it came here for, the contract that it met him for. He was supposed to meet me in this lifetime to bring me closer to God, bring me closer to my spirituality, to help me understand that I am supposed to choose myself and my religion, just like he chose his religion and his duty and his honor. Make sense? So sometimes when someone is breaking up with you, they're not doing it on purpose. They're doing it because they need to teach you something. So as when you're sitting there holding on to someone, you have to ask, why are you holding on so badly? What is this? Why is it that it impacted you so much compared to other relationships you've had in your life? That's a soulmate. That's a soulmate. Soulmates will leave you hurting. Why? Because they need to impact you in a certain way. They need to shoot an arrow at you so it can get you, so it can hurt you right in the heart so you can break open. Because after this experience that I had with my ex-fiance, I started loving myself. I started putting more time into my business, more time into my spirituality. Hell, I started putting time into my tarot readings because when I was with him, he didn't like tarot readings. He didn't like this whole witchcraft business, right? He didn't like this whole, whole juju stuff, right? Once I left him, walked away from him, I was free to do whatever it is that I wanted to. And that's another telltale sign that when you're with someone and they tell you not to do something, especially something that you honor and you believe in, that's not good. That's a red flag. You should never be with someone who suppresses you and asks you to shrink yourself and dim your light, especially when it comes to what you believe in. Like every time I watch Vampire Diaries or The Grimm or Sabrina the Teenage Witch, you know what he used to say to me? You're watching this garbage again? During that time, I thought it was this is what just people say. Then I realized that's not what someone is supposed to say to you. If you're reading a book or if you're doing something and someone says to you, oh, you're doing this garbage again, that person doesn't love you. Because a person who loves you will honor everything that you love. So if you're dating someone who says to you, oh, your fucking kids are over again, I fucking hate your kids, you know, that person doesn't love you, because the person that loves you will love you and love your kids. That's what I'm trying to, that's the seed I'm putting in your heads, guys. This is the seed I'm planting in your heads. Learn this now. If they don't love you, they you know how you know that they don't love you? They don't love anything that you love. When they love you, they love everything that you love. Everything that you honor, they honor. Okay? So going back to the karmic part of this, once the karma was done, I felt a release, and I'm pretty sure his soul probably felt it too. He didn't need to call me and tell me because he's blocked. But also with friendship, same thing goes. People that you meet, jobs that you have. Whenever you start to feel like you're obligated to something, or you're being suppressed by something, or you're being asked to shrink yourself smaller than you normally are, right? That's a no-no. That's a karmic situation. That's a justice card right there. That's a judgment card right there pulled. Then the Tower needs to come in. And then the World card comes in to show you the completion with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? So, going back to the trend, when did you two meet? Some of you have met individuals because there is a karma that needs to be cleared out. Just like I met that guy that summer who I needed to cleanse him, to understand. I had to cleanse him. That was something I owed him, right? Cleanse him, because right after I cleansed him, we got into really bad fights. And then that's when I was like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. Because I chose me again. My ex-fiance taught me how to choose me. So the next relationship I got into, which was that one, right out, like it wasn't right after, it was like 6 years later, right? I got into a quick relationship. I don't even call it a relationship. It was a fucking 3-month fling. Anyway, it wasn't a relationship. I don't give a fuck if he asked me to be his girlfriend. That was not a relationship for me. So yeah, that 3-month thing, a 3-month escapade that I had, I cleansed him. So as soon as I cleansed him, I noticed that my feelings for him disappeared, because that's the only thing I was supposed to do, was supposed to cleanse him. That's it. And then after that, we broke it off. I became single after that. So that's where I realized, okay, so that's where the karma played out. Now what he's doing, I don't know. He's blocked. I have a toxic trait about me. Once I stop talking to you, I block you, because I feel like I don't want to deal with it. You call me avoidant, you call me whatever you want, but if we stop talking and I break up with you, or I stop talking to you, or I stop being friends with you, I'm blocking you. I don't know why I do that, but I just like it like that. Like just move. I don't like ghosts haunting me. You know what I mean? I'm a medium as it is. I have enough ghosts that haunt me. Not haunt me. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have enough ghosts that try to talk to me all the time. I don't need living ghosts in my life. At least the ghosts that are real ghosts, you help them out and you help them move along to the light. The living ghost, I can't deal with that. Living ghost, I don't have time for that. So, with that being said, make sure that when you go into a relationship, you check the factors of, is this karmic? Is this fun? Is this bringing me peace? Is this bringing me sanity? Am I looking ugly now? Is my face breaking out? Is this, that, da, 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 da? These are all telltale signs of karma. Okay? All right? Like, I worked at a job and I knew it was karmic because every day I'd be depressed going to that job. Do you know how quick I got out of that job? It really helps when you're aware of these things, guys. You don't stay somewhere longer than you should. And then when you love yourself, you pack up the moment you figure it out. You don't try to play that no, I'll give it another chance. No. When you love yourself and you really learn how to love yourself, you don't give chances out anymore. You have very strong boundaries. Even in friendship, I'm like that. If someone says something to me that doesn't make me feel good, or it you know, like kind of like their words hollow out for some reason, I leave. I'm dealing with that right now. Someone said something to me and it made me feel weird. It made me look at them weird. And now I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to them. They've been texting me and I've just been ignoring it. I mean, if I do run into them, I'll be like, I've been busy. Sorry. I'm busy. So yeah, just ghost. I don't care. Some people will be like, well, that's really toxic. Yeah, I know. I addressed that in the beginning of the video. I'm toxic. I have a toxic trait where I just walk away. Because I feel like I don't need to explain shit. I know what happened. If you can't figure it out, that's your problem. Do it with someone else and you'll learn your lesson. You did it with me. I'm not going to sit there and explain it to you. But you know what? I'll take that back. If you mean a lot to me and if I cared about you, I will explain it to you. But if you didn't mean shit to me, I'm just going to be out. I'm like a dude when it comes to that. I'm just out. I ain't dealing with this shit. Just like when you argue with me, if I care about you, I'm going to argue back. That's a good telltale sign if you're ever friends with me. If I argue back with you, that means I care and I love you and I want to fix it. If I don't argue back, that means I really don't give a fuck. And you argued with me today, you're not going to see me after this. I'm not even going to reach out to you after this because I really don't care to. You want to argue, you can argue with yourself. But if I do care about you and I do love you, I will argue, I will fight. I will fight to keep, what we have. But once you see that I'm not fighting anymore, you already got your answer because I don't care no more. But that's also karmic in a sense. With some people where the karma is heavy, I want to fight. I want to rectify it. I want to leave it with love. But when the karma is on the opposite end, where I'm the one bringing karma into someone's life, right? This is when I walk away and they have to figure it out. Like, why did she leave? Why did she do that? Because somewhere in their lifetime, they probably did that to someone else. Make sense? And it's okay to sit there and point the blame at yourself sometimes. Just like, it's called growing up. It's called taking accountability. No one is perfect. No relationship doesn't work because two people are perfect. Oh, did I say that right? Relationships don't work out because it's one person that's not perfect. It's both. But it takes two hands to clap. It takes two to tango. So if a relationship is not working out and you're the one that's still holding on, you need to look at that. Maybe you're wrong for holding on. Maybe you need to let them go. Maybe whatever you needed to do for them, you did it already. And that's why they don't feel anything for you anymore. The contract's done. Once you start looking at everything from a contractual perspective, things change. You actually have more respect for the contract. You have more respect for yourself. And you have more respect for karma. You kind of get out of the way. Like in the sense with that guy that I was dating and that best friend situation, I got out of the way of karma. Like I was like, okay, karma, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just mind my business. You go ahead and do what you need to do. Sometimes it's not about you. And it's okay if you're not the main character in the story. Okay? Because I feel like I have to say that to some people because a lot of people think they're the main characters in other people's stories. If I would have stayed in that relationship, I would have gotten hit. It would have been really bad. I believe we would have stayed together because he really cared about me. He was at a point where he was falling in love with me. And I knew that. That's why I pulled away before it got too bad. As for me, I knew I didn't love him. I knew I just liked him. But my feelings for him weren't as deep as his feelings were for me. That's why I pulled out before he got hurt. And sometimes you have to make that sacrifice. I cared about him enough to leave him. Sometimes people, I know it sounds really horrible to say this, but sometimes when people leave you, it's because they actually care about you and they don't want you to get hurt. That's why they leave. And then when you actually go back and look at your birth chart or you pull cards and you find out what happened in a past life, maybe they left you in a past life and now this lifetime you have to leave them in order to make it full cycle or make it full circle. Okay? So that's my message on how did you two meet? And I hope you guys liked it. I really enjoyed talking about this. I love past life stuff. I love reincarnation. I love karma. It's just so interesting because when you actually take a step back and you look at things and you're like, I see how that played out. And then if you go back into your research and you go into your past lives and you understand, the roles that you played, and then you kind of like mirror it into this lifetime, right? It's like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I know why I fight with my parents all the time. Like, I know why I'm like this with my sister. Like, I know why I'm like that with the guy that lives 2 blocks down the street. You just start to see things a lot clearly, okay? So, if you have a time, please look at your birth chart. Look at the birth chart of your significant other. Look at the birth charts of your friends. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. So take a look. Have fun. I love you guys. I'll see you later.